Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your boy Walking Man Dude, and you're watching Wrenchtrenchers Garage, and today we're gonna go ahead and continue on the Durango. Yeah, inside this truck, you got that front diff. It's going to the scrapyard. I am not going to rebuild it. I'm not gonna have anybody rebuild it. I really don't care anything about this thing, so it's going to the scrapyard. We're gonna go ahead and start rebuilding this guy. Not rebuilding, but we're just gonna fix all the seals. Remove this so we can change the fluid in there. We're going to take these axles off. I got it on the bench. Probably should have took the axles off before putting it on the bench because it is taking up the whole bench, and I don't know if I can get them off with the bench. But we're going to try it anyway. You guys are going on time lapse. I'm just going to kind of break this down. I'm going to pull the seal out of this one here. And then there's another seal. It's not really leaking, but I'm going to pull it anyway. And this guy back here, I'm going to probably need to undo it and use a pulley and all that. And the last thing I'm going to do is take the face off and drain all the fluid out of there. Alright, on the time lapse. Okay guys, so we got this thing all opened up. And I did make a bit of a mess, but I cleaned it up. Looking in here, the spider gears and all the gears and stuff, they all look like they're doing pretty good in there. Nothing looks chipped. Just turn this guy. Nothing really. Is a little something right there. Tiny little something there, but I don't think it's really gonna affect anything. Other than that, they look all right. Now, however, it is dark, like you can see, like I can rub this back to like silver, and there's a lot of stuff on there, and I'm pretty sure that's just from normal wear. This is a junkyard one, so I don't know if fluid was ever changed. Like, it's not, see this side, it's not as silver as the other one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna wipe it with this rag as much as possible, then get one more clean rag and do one more little wipe up in there, because down in there you can see way back in there that fluid's a little nasty. But it's okay. I'm just gonna clean it out the best I can. We're gonna seal this thing back up and put some fresh stuff in there. So yeah. Okay guys, after that not so graceful display of cleaning it out, it's cleaned out. There's no trash or debris in it anymore. So the next thing we're going to be on to, I'm going to let this kind of just dry out and just make sure it's completely, dry and everything before I go to messing with it some more. I used a little bit of brake cleaner in there. I know I probably wasn't supposed to, but I did it, and then I blew a bunch of compressed air in there just to kind of blow out everything from underneath, and I wiped it, and as far as I can put my hand in there, there's not really much left in there, so that's good. Now, as far as the nut in the back here, this thing has to be tightened to like 200 and something foot-pounds, and I'm not going to be able to do that on the bench. So I just kind of hit it real quick with the impact, and once I put it back in there, I'll have somebody hold the brake or put it in gear or something, then I'll go ahead and tighten that one to the right spec, and then put the drive shaft in. Here is, I do have to go to the store. I have to pick up another bearing. This bearing's good, but the bearing on the other side is bad, so I'm gonna have to swap that out at some point before I decide to start putting those brakes in. That's no bueno. It looks like there's a lot of oil and things kind of congregating around here, and I'm not liking any of it. And I'm thinking it is the oil pan that's not doing so hot. clean up a lot of this stuff back here because and I might have the rust treat up there. Look at that, that's looking pretty rough. Just gonna go ahead and start taking this down, and I think that'll be good because now that the differential's out of the way, I have a clean shot at it, and I think I'll go ahead and just do it. Now here's a problem that I'm noticing is that back here with this oil pan doesn't look so easy to get to. So we're gonna see what we can do with this thing. Hey, what's up guys? It's another bright and early day in the shop, and we are gonna go ahead and continue on the Durango. As you see, I got the wheels stacked up over here. I got a bunch of cars that like kind of just came in that need work, and I kind of want my side money here. So what I'm gonna have to do is basically just finish up what I started here. I'm gonna go to the store today. I gotta grab me another one of these wheel bearings because this one has a little bit of play in it, and if you hear it, that sounds rough. Here's the other one. You don't even hear it, and there's no play. So I'm gonna grab another one of these guys from the store today. I'm not gonna end up doing the transmission fluid in this video, and I am not gonna do the rear diff in this video either. That's gonna be like the next video because I have to just kind of get this thing on the ground, kind of rolling on its own a little bit for right now. Get a couple of customer cars out of the way, and then I'll have to come back to it. So that's how I'm gonna have to do that right now, so people ain't waiting around for me to do things that should have been done like a week ago. So yeah, so let me go ahead and get busy. See you in a bit. Okay guys, all of this freaking took forever, so I went ahead and I laid the gasket on here after I've cleaned up this surface. It's smooth. Yeah, I lost a little bit of paint, but it was real cruddy, so I had to just scrape it. So I cleaned out the inside of it too. As you can see, some of the stuff came off in there. You know, I got all the crumbs and crud out of there because it had built up and it was looking terrible, terrible, terrible. But I also cleaned up the outside and sprayed just a little bit of rust reformer in a few little spots because these are like welds, spot welds, where they put this windage tray in here. I probably didn't have to go and clean outside as good as I did, but I cleaned it real good because, you know, when you're trying to put these things in and they're full of muck and dirt and grit and oil, it's slippery, it's hard to handle, it gets in everything, so just clean it and then it makes it for a nicer install. And as you can see, I have cleaned that mating surface as clean as anybody can get it. And it took all day. And I don't care what anybody says, if you're not using the majority of the time that you're doing some sort of gasket to clean your mating surfaces, you're probably gonna have a leak. So I already know. I'm gonna clean those mating surfaces as good as I can, whatever it takes to get them to what I think is the cleanest that it should be, so that I have a good mating surface for the gaskets. Now, also with this thing, when I looked at the gasket itself, somebody used a lot of RTV. Now, you don't need to use RTV on a rubber gasket, at least not as much as this person used. I got a real true to game Mopar gasket. I didn't mess around. I don't like leaks. And when I do things, I like to do them once. I don't like playing around with this. So this is an actual real Dodge Mopar gasket. And also all the seals, Mopar seal. Pretty much everything that I'm putting back in here is from Dodge. The only thing that's not going to be from Dodge is the bearing that I'm about to get. And then I discovered this as well. That ball joint is no bueno. I guess I'm going to have to be doing some ball joints. The upper ball joints, not so bad. These will survive. They actually feel still a little stiff and new, and it is kind of ghetto because now that I see that, look at that. Somebody put a nail in there. They didn't even use a cotter pen. They used like a nail. So I guess this is gonna be, I guess it's gonna survive, but I'm gonna have to put a real cotter pen in there. That's ridiculous. So going over to the other side, this one is in good shape, and this one is actually starting to go bad. It's a little cracked. It's a little wobble. So we're gonna go and change those too. So yeah, guys, it's gonna be off to the store to grab some more parts. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing that oil pan. So I'm gonna start that. I'm not time lapsing it. I'm just gonna say that whenever you do these things, these corners up here, right where my light is touching right here, those corners, that corner, those two corners, all the corners, you wanna put a little RTV in just those corners. And in the back too, back there, you want to put a little RTV right back there in that corner. So that's it. All right, guys, so as you can see, I got the pan in, all the bolts are in, gaskets on there. And what I'm about to do now is just go ahead and torque these things. These need to be torqued to 15 foot-pounds. I'll try to time lapse it. Okay, guys, so we have the oil pan all on, torque. I ended up putting the steering rack back in. I'm gonna throw a little grease in there and then tighten that up. Little wash down right there, but everything else is good, sealed, dry. That's good. And the next thing we're gonna do is we'll go ahead and take this. Oh, it's only 3 bolts. So basically just 3 14mm bolts. Already got the ratchet on there. 3 14mm bolts, and this whole assembly should come out. And yeah, that'll be it for now. And let's see if I can go get the ball joints, and I'll probably work on those today too if I can get them. And if I can't get them today, that's fine. I'll just go ahead and put that back on because that is ready to go back in.
Now I remember your smile and look up at the sky.